Hello, my friends. It is full-blown winter here. I probably should have made this video a couple days ago so you could deal with the shoveling. Most people are finally done with it, but it's gonna come back. So I'm just gonna do like 10 minutes of how to react after you shovel to kind of help ease that soreness for the next night, the next day. And then you could use this anytime. It's a really easy little flow. So go ahead and find yourself in an easy seated pose. You don't need a yoga mat even for this. You could do this as long as you have support under your knees in a little bit. You don't even need a yoga mat. So I would suggest go ahead, start to sit up nice and tall wherever you're comfortable. Take a nice deep breath in. And if you just got done shoveling, exhale. You need to slow your heart rate down. So let's go ahead and start there. We're gonna go ahead and take our right ear to our right shoulder. We'll go ahead and take our right hand and find our left ear. And maybe this next stretch is enough for you here. I find like when I'm shoveling, everything is scrunched. So maybe stretching here is enough. Maybe you want to take your left fingertips out to the side. Or maybe you'd like to take a half bind behind your back. So finding your left fingers towards the middle of your back. For me, this is the best stretch. And really, anytime you're doing yoga, just focusing on your breathing is best. So go ahead and just take a few deep breaths here. And then come back to center. Go ahead and shake your shoulders out a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. Left ear to left shoulder. Left hand to right ear. And go ahead and stretch that arm out for a nice little stretch here. Again, if you'd rather just keep your hand on your lap, that's fine. Or if you'd rather take that half bind, the back of my right hand's going to the middle of my back. And release. Kind of shrugging those things out. We're going to go ahead and take our right hand out. We're going to pull our fingers towards us. So you should feel a nice stretch on the top of your forearm. Again, I don't know. I don't use my forearms all that much, and I feel like they're kind of sore after shoveling the driveway and the sidewalk and the walkway up to the house. And then you're going to go ahead and palm up and bring those fingers back. Keep a nice little bend in your elbow here to make sure that you're protecting it. And you should feel that on the inside of your arm here. And then we'll go ahead and switch arms, palm down, bring those fingers towards you. You're not trying to hurt yourself, so nice and gentle here. Just a couple rounds of breath in each pose. And then flip your palm up, a little bend in the elbow, bring those fingers back towards you. They might crack. You might feel a little snapping in your fingers. And then go ahead and just make some wrist circles here, going one direction and then the other. We're gonna go ahead and meet in tabletop. So that's hands and knees pose. Again, you don't have to have a yoga mat to do this. Just something to support your knees, especially if you, like me, are on a hardwood floor. You wanna make sure that your wrists under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and if you look back, your feet are in line with your legs. So we're gonna go ahead and do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So you're gonna inhale, drop your belly, tailbone goes up, look up. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, round the spine, let your head get heavy. Inhale the cow. And exhale for cat. So again, you might just be feeling like maybe you tweaked one side of your back. So just trying to find some alignment here and some flexibility in your spine. Just breathing in and out, maybe at your own pace. You don't have to go the same pace as me. And then we'll go ahead, one more round. And then we'll meet in that neutral spine. Anytime you want to just practice your alignment, this is a good way to do it. Pushing yourself off the mat engages more of your back and your whole core. We're going to go ahead and inhale our right arm up, opening up across that chest, which might be a little tight from that. And then we're going to go ahead and exhale and thread the needle. Our right arm is going to come under our left armpit, and we're going to lay on the outside of our right shoulder. Right cheek, right temple comes to the mat. You can take your left arm long out in front of you. You can leave it right by your face if that's more comfortable. You can take a half bind here to kind of open up through that chest area. You could even, if you'd like, kick out your left leg a little bit. So lots of options here to experience threading the needle. I like to keep my left arm long. And if you find that you're not getting that right spot in your shoulder, interlace your fingers and use your left arm to pull your right one to the right spot. Just stay here for another round of breath. On your next exhale, plant that left hand right back where it was, and inhale to open up across your chest again. And then bring your hand back down. Inhaling that left arm up now. Opening across the chest. As you exhale, thread the needle on the other side. So laying on the outside of your left shoulder. Same options apply. Right hand can go long. Right hand can take a bind behind your back. You can keep it right by your cheek. Maybe kick your leg out if you'd like. Wherever you want to find your most comfort, your best stretch here is where you want to be. And maybe you'll notice that your sides are different. So maybe here, taking that half bind feels a lot better. And that's okay. One more round of breath here. Plant that right hand on the exhale. On your inhale, reach up nice across your chest. And come back to plant. We're going to walk our hands out in front of us and drop to our bellies. We're going to go ahead and keep our hands underneath our armpits here. And we're going to go ahead and inhale up just for baby cobra. Again, just kind of opening up across your chest and your spine. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale one more time, maybe getting your belly off the ground. And exhale to lower. We're going to take our arms out to a T, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll over our right shoulder. So the right side of my body is on the mat. My arm is long behind me. You can take your head down or you can hold it up wherever it's more comfortable for you. You can bend this leg behind you. You can stack them straight. You can leave your left hand out in front of you, or if you'd like, you can take it as a half bind behind your back here. So really opening across the chest, really getting into that right shoulder here. So kind of taking a few rounds of breath here and finding where it feels good in your shoulder. That's where you want to be. And then go ahead, come back to center. Let's go ahead and inhale for one little cobra here. And exhale back down. Tee out those arms. Let's roll over the left side now. Again, you might notice that the sides of your body are different. And that's okay, especially if you pick one way to shovel the whole time. So maybe you feel the stretch better on one side than the other. And if that's true, then hang out there. Find one place that you really feel like this is making a difference in your shoulder and stay there. Again, same options. You can bend this back knee like I am. Keep your legs straight if that feels better for you. Maybe you want to keep that right hand to support you in the front, or take that half bind in the back to open up across your shoulders. One more round of breath here, and then we'll go ahead and come back to center. Hands underneath your armpits. We're going to go ahead and push back to a kneeling pose. Walk your hands all the way up to standing knee pose, and then we're going to go ahead and take our right leg out in front of us. So finding where it feels comfortable for you, take your hands on your hips, tuck that tailbone, and then you should feel a stretch here in your left hip flexor. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you need a little bit more, go ahead and push your hips forward. A few options here as well. You can take your arms up. You can maybe look up, look back. Maybe you want to plant your right hand, or if you have a block or like a water bottle, you could rest your hand on that and reach over to give yourself a nice, better stretch in this left front body. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring your hands down, hinge your hips back. I need to scooch my toes up a little bit, and take our right toes to the sky. Some people like to stay here. I usually do, with like a straightened spine, kind of leading with my collarbone. And some people like to hinge all the way back here on their hips. If this feels better for you, stay here. Just try to make sure that your hips are kind of even. You don't want one leg to be all the way forward. I don't find this to be comfortable. This does a little stretch for me, but it's not how I like this pose. I like to come up, but I know lots of people, I have lots of friends who like to sit all the way back. Your job is to find what feels right for you. No matter where, if you're high or low, I would encourage you to slowly windshield wipe that foot back and forth to just see how that changes your stretch a bit. And then let's go ahead and reach back forward, sweep that right leg back, and come to all fours. Let's go ahead and do one round of cat-cows here. So drop that belly, look up, tailbone goes up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, round the spine, let the head get heavy. Come back to neutral, walk your hands up, and let's take that left leg out in front. So again, kind of finding your hips, finding your space here, hands on the hips. Once you feel like your hips are nice and even, square facing forward, you're gonna tuck that tailbone under. And when you do, this might be enough for your right hip flexor. If you need a little bit more, push those hips forward. Same options here. Maybe this is enough on this side. Maybe you take your arms up. Maybe you look up, look back, a little back bend here. It's a little bit of a balance challenge. Maybe you want to take a block or a water bottle and you want to hold on to it right here. Of course, I don't have one, but I would reach my fingers down and reach all the way over. Sometimes having a block or just like an Nalgene or something here helps make the ground come up to you and you don't feel like you're falling over. So just trying to find comfort in these poses while also giving you a nice stretch. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands back down and hinge those hips back. Again, same option. I like to scooch my toes up when I do this one. It helps me to get my hips in alignment, and I like to stay nice and high. I float on my fingertips. Sometimes if I have two blocks, I'll put them here, or I'll use two Nalgene bottles or two books, whatever you have available to you. And again, once you feel like you're in your right spot, so again, if you're all the way back on your hips, that's okay too. But then windshield wipe your foot very slowly. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of find our way to a standing pose. So however you wanna get there, taking your time. We're gonna inhale for halfway lift, nice flat back. Think of the crown of your head facing forward. And as you